Hey friends, Rob Hipp, Director of Operations with SHN Live here. Today in this brief video, I'm quickly going to explain some of the video equipment that you can use to have a successful and professional video broadcast. You'll need 5 pieces of equipment for a successful and professional video broadcast. The first, a tripod. There are many different options and many different variations of tripods. We recommend having what is called a fluid head tripod. Now these tend to be more expensive, but they allow you to have a wide range of motion when you're moving your camera around without any sticking. The lower end tripods are not fluid head, and you'll notice when you try to move them that they may stick. Now what you're seeing here is a Ravelli basic tripod. These aren't that expensive. It is not a fluid head tripod, but it does work if you are panning just from left to right. We use these frequently for football broadcasts and even some basketball broadcasts. They work great for a basic broadcast, but again, if you're zooming in and you're wanting to do more action where you're tilting up and down especially, you'll definitely want a higher end fluid head tripod. Obviously for a video broadcast, you'll of course need a camera. Now we've been using the Canon Vixia cameras for a very long time here at SHN. These work incredibly well for basic one camera angle broadcasts. They're a budget camera, but they do work for your basic needs. These come in handy especially for basketball games and gymnasiums. One thing about these Canon cameras, however, is they may not have some settings for exposure. Now that comes in really important if you're in a gym that's maybe not as bright and doesn't have enough light as you would like. So there are some limitations to the lower end cameras. We'll explain more in depth on other videos here on our YouTube channel for more professional cameras that you can use. One thing that you'll also have to consider with any camera is what type of HDMI output does it have. You'll want cameras that have a clean HDMI output. Now what I mean by that is there's a lot of on-screen overlays with cameras. You don't want those overlays going through the HDMI output. Your encoder, that we'll talk about in a little bit, also known as a capture device, basically captures anything that comes from that HDMI output. So again, any camera that you choose, you want to make sure that it has a clean HDMI output. Also, you may have a higher end camera, such as a Sony 4K camera for instance. However, those cameras don't necessarily output 4K. Now in most cases, 1080 or even 720 is a good resolution to stream with, but if you're wanting to do 4K, you've got to make sure that the HDMI output will actually output 4K as well. The other limitation of some cameras, such as one of the Sonys that we have, is that if you're recording in 4K, it will not output to HDMI. You have to be in the 1080 setting. So again, make sure that you thoroughly review any camera that you're looking to purchase, that it'll suit your needs. Now once again, we're going to have more videos here on our YouTube channel that explains different cameras and different technologies in detail, so make sure to subscribe and look for those videos. We've talked about tripods and we've talked about cameras. In order to get the HDMI signal from your camera to your capture device, you're going to need an HDMI cable. Now, there's many variations of HDMI cables. They range in length and size. There's micro cables, mini cables, regular HDMI cables. Make sure that you check your camera specifications to determine the right camera that you need. We've talked about tripods, we've talked about cameras and HDMI cables, and now you have to have somewhere for that HDMI signal to go from your camera. That's where a capture device comes into play, sometimes known as a hardware encoder. Now we've been using Elgato products here at SHN for many years. They've proven extremely professional and reliable if you're on a budget. They've changed over the years as well, starting out with the Game Capture HD that only did 30 frames a second, upgraded to the HD 60 that of course did 60 frames per second, and now with the smaller USB cam links that do 4K. There's a lot of different products you can choose from. Again, if you're on a budget, the Elgato game capture devices work very well. These game capture devices will feed into a software program such as Open Broadcaster software. We've been using OBS here at SHN for quite some time. It works very efficiently in producing great graphics and motion, as well as all of the templates and tools that you need to have a successful broadcast. We have professional videos on how to use OBS. Make sure to hit the subscribe button and search for those videos and find out more. Again, to remind you, these encoders or capture devices, they will only pick up whatever signal your camera puts out. That's why it's really important to check the specifications of your camera and make sure that it's doing exactly what you want it to. From the tripod to the camera, through the HDMI cable, then through the capture device or encoder, and now into your computer, that's how the signal gets to the internet. We recommend gaming-type laptops because of the hardware configurations they have. In most cases, they are more than sufficient to produce a high-quality video stream. We recommend having a gaming laptop that has an NVIDIA-type graphics card, a solid-state hard drive, a Core 5 or higher processor, and at least 8 gigs of memory. We've been using the Acer Predator Helios laptops for many years now here at SHN. We found that they work extremely well for all of our video production as well as video live streaming needs. You can find out more information on where to purchase these laptops through our products page at shnlive.com. If you're interested in becoming an SHN affiliate, visit our website at shnlive.com and scroll down to the Interested in Live Streaming section. From there, you can quickly fill out your information and we'll be in touch with you as soon as possible. Also, friends, make sure to hit the subscribe button here on this channel to keep up to date with the latest tips and tricks to help improve your professional live streaming needs. Have a great day, everyone.